Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm David. Let's talk about Survivor 40 Winners at War, shall we? So much to discuss.
So much. But first, if you're new to this channel, please click subscribe and give this video a thumbs up.
And if you want to support us on Patreon, there's a link in the description to do that.
You guys, our friends at yourshirtingme.com, they make our Nerdtainment merch. They have a strong connection with the healthcare community, and they want to raise awareness around the importance of staying home so that the healthcare workers can do their job, while also raising money to get them the supplies that they need. They have always been there for us, so now we need to be there for them.
Yes, proceeds from the sale of these shirts are going to Direct Relief. Direct Relief is coordinating with public health authorities, nonprofit organizations, and businesses in the U.S. and globally to provide personal protective equipment and essential medical items to health workers responding to COVID-19.
Look at these cute shirts.
I know. Look at those things. It's good stuff.
This is my favorite one with the little cross and the little stay home.
Yeah.
They have a few different designs. So if you hop over there to yourshirtingme.com, I put the link in the description below. If you're able, I know times are tough for a lot of people, but if you are able, goes to a good cause.
That's right.
So we
You're
just
still
wanted to
getting that
share
paycheck
that
and you got that, disposable income. Just share a little bit with the You're Shirting Me people because they're doing good things for the world right now.
That's right. Back to Survivor.
All right. Okay, we got some updates this week.
We had some announcements today.
Yeah, there's a finale. There's gonna be a finale, and it's gonna be virtual.
It's official. We guessed. This was our guess that it would have to be virtual, and it was announced today. It's going to be on May 13th.
Yes.
There is going to be its typical 2-hour actual episode, and then the 1-hour reunion after that.
Right.
And they said all 20 contestants will be virtual. So
at home, someone's going to win $2 million in their living room. It's just so, I'm thrilled that there's still going to be a finale. This is great. We all wondered what this was going to be.
Gotta have it.
But this is so anticlimactic for the biggest season ever of Survivor. I gotta say, there's no way around it. This is for the best, but oh man, this is just unfortunate for this season because it's so epic. And this is going to be one person cheering with their family. And that's it.
I know, but it's nobody's fault. We are in the weirdest situation. Most of us have ever been in.
Yeah.
This is unprecedented. So they are obviously scrambling to figure it out. It does make sense in Los Angeles where we live and also where they shoot. Well, where Survivor is based, where CBS is. Obviously, they don't shoot here. But we just were extended. Our sort of safer at home order was extended till May 15th.
Yeah.
Now it's May 13th.
It's not even they're operating out of an abundance of caution. It's they can't. We're all supposed to stay home until May 14th, 15th, whatever it is. That's after the Survivor finale. So
right. So no crew could get together, no group of producers could get together. So I feel like they have plenty of time and editors work from home in their edit bays so they can put together some cute clips. They can, talk to these contestants a day or two ahead of time that aren't in the final, jury. They can put that stuff in the can and get it edited together. So I still have high hopes that it will be fun.
Yeah. The thing is we're still going to have the episode, which is going to be great. It's going to be a typical Survivor, final, 2 hours of actual episode footage. It's just that moment of the reading of the votes in front of the final three and the jury and everybody's there. That's the part that is really going to be lacking. To me, it's fun to get those, interviews with fan favorite players in the midst of the finale. They call out Davey onto the stage or call out whoever and chat with them. But if I don't have that, it's not the end of the world. But it is just that final moment of finding out who the winner is. That's going to be a little less exciting, obviously.
It's going to be interesting because honestly, I want to know where Jeff's going to be.
Yeah.
He's probably going to be home. I don't know, unless he's got like a cool backyard or something that he can set up in where he'll like be reading from his urn, I guess.
I know.
And I assume they've wiped down with Lysol. I don't.
Right. Is he
Wipe.
gonna are they gonna send a bunch of stuff from, Amazon, and he's gonna build some kind of
Yeah.
tribal set behind him or something?
Yes, that's my point. They have the time, they have money, they can set up however they want. They just have to ship it to Jeff's house or something.
Right. And he has to do it himself.
And then the other good news is the following week, May 20th, is the premiere of Amazing Race.
Hello, it's back. Finally, we've been wondering when this season was going to get announced, or they just don't put the show on the schedule anymore until they know they need it.
Exactly. And since it didn't get announced sort of the March-ish time, I was like, oh no, they're waiting till Survivor's over.
Yeah.
Because they're running out of content. They're running out of shows. So they have to save it.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the benefits of them filming these seasons and then holding on to them.
Yeah.
Or just as a scenario like this, where they're like, oh, we are out of original content. Oh, we've got this whole season of Amazing Race already filmed. So let's air that.
Yes. So as usual, we will be here. We will be wrapping up Survivor when that finale happens. And then we will be going right into Amazing Race we do.
I'm excited. It's been so wasn't it last summer that Amazing Race aired, or was it during the spring?
It was this time. It was, it started March, April last year.
Yeah.
So it was around this time. So it's been a year. We need our Amazing Race fix. Before we move on, we had a super chat before this even started.
Who did that?
Thank you so much to Danny Dahlquist.
Thank you, Danny.
I love how Sarah's picture is a nice headshot and David's probably has #brunch attached to it. I'm going to say, Danny, that sounds about right. Yeah.
So true. I was at brunch when that photo was taken. I don't have professional headshots. I think I got headshots taken my second year in LA, which was 10 years ago now. Not to date
we should try that.
Let's use that headshot. But
yes, we need to get some good. Next time we can see David in person, we will get photos taken. Yes. But Danny also says, I love your videos. I watch them every week. So Danny, thank you so much.
Thank you, Danny. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay. Well, speaking of people we love, coming up this week.
Yeah.
We have the Loved Ones episode. Loved Ones episode.
I was watching the preview clip on CBS.com and already tearing up from that 20 seconds of footage. I think it was in the EW interview, Jeff said it's the greatest Loved Ones visit of all time. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. These are winners and whatever. Yeah. And in the preview, you see its entire families are coming up to the island. Kids, wives, husbands, the whole shebang.
Yes. Oh, yes. I love this. Of course they have to do this. I didn't think about it. I did not see this coming, but I love that they did it. I love that we watched these players, many, many moons ago, and they have now gotten married. They've had kids. They're raising families, and they're totally different people. So I love that they incorporated that.
Me too. We've seen when Jeremy played for his second time. His wife already had one child and was pregnant with the second one. So we saw a little bit of that, but you didn't see the first kid, come with the wife for that loved one. So having the kids there just ups the drama, ups the emotion so much. And I love that this is early for a loved one's visit. This is the final 10. Usually it's final 7, I think. But they were like, no, we're taking advantage and getting all the emotion we can out of this.
I think that's great. I think, as many family members as they can get, do it early. I love it. We're going to see kids. We're going to see these men break down and cry.
Oh, Tyson is sobbing into his children's hair. Kim is she can't nuzzle close enough to her son's face. It's just going to be so sweet to see truly exactly what these people are playing for, people with families talk all of the time about how they're playing for their family and they just want to provide. And now we put faces to that story. It's just, it's going to make great television and I'm going to be sobbing.
Yes, you are. And I'm so excited that one of us has a heart and can cry.
I am bummed that I can't watch it with you because I love looking over with me tears streaming down my face and Sarah's kind of like, okay, let's move it along. Enough with the kid talk.
That's not true. I'm feeling it. You just can't see it. I'm like, oh, lovely. Oh. And David's like,
A mess. Yeah.
I know it will be a bummer that we won't watch it together, but so excited. And also, how cool is it to be one of those little kids and get to see this challenge, get to see their parent like doing crazy stuff.
Right.
I would love that.
Like, why are you doing this? But
yeah, I know. I wonder what's the conversation at home.
Yeah. It's probably very cool to the kids, like to see the cameras and the whole setup. But they're probably like, what is this? Like, what's going on? Because these are little kids, a lot of them, you know?
Some of them are. Yeah. I mean, obviously they had to be like, daddy's going or mommy's going to do this. So there has to be some sort of context, but they probably get out there and they're like, oh, my mom plays games on the beach for a living. Like,
right. Yeah.
What is that?
And like, Mom, why are you so dirty and skinny? You know?
Yeah, you smell. Like, who knows? I can't wait to see all of that. It also immediately made me think, like, oh my God, poor Rob and Amber. I mean, obviously, Parvati has a baby. Like, there are other Danny kids. Like, obviously, it's not just them, but they came to mind first.
Yeah.
It made me think, like, what if Rob had one back in and their kids came and it wasn't both of their parents? Would they have been like, where's mom? Like, that's just really weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. All of this made me think about Rob and Amber. I guess everything makes me think about Rob and Amber.
True. Yeah. But it looked like, I mean, I was trying to think of like which contestants have like the full family and which don't. Like, obviously it looked like Sophie just has like a boyfriend or maybe
she does,
coming out. But like Tony, Tyson, Kim, Jeremy all have kids. Does Denise have kids?
Denise has kids. Sarah has kids, right?
Oh, does she? I wasn't aware of her like being married or having kids or anything like that. I couldn't remember like what her family visit was last time for Game Changers.
I'm blanking. I think she has kids, but I'm blanking for 100% sure.
Yeah.
Nick,
I don't think has a family, but like it's
Nick
just going to be at least half of the people have kids, and that's going to be the good stuff.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's super fun.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. Can't wait.
Yes.
Okay, so backing up, talking about this past week, we were not quite sure on the votes, and it really mattered this time. So it's official. Sarah and Denise were our only Nick votes. Then obviously we knew Adam was the only Sarah vote.
For Sarah. Now, let's talk this through because I can't make heads or tails of Sarah voting for Nick.
What happened there? Yeah. I mean, the only thing that I can think of is that it was like assigned splitting votes because there's no reason for Sarah.
Yeah, I think it was like some kind of like split vote situation just as a safety in case. But it's just so strange that Sarah would be one of the people who wrote Nick's name down because Adam was coming after Sarah and she was very specifically like, Adam, you're going home. So it's like kind of an interesting choice to have Sarah be one who's not voting for Adam. But yeah, it must have been a split vote scenario where they're like, we gotta throw a couple at Nick just in case.
Right. I don't know why it wouldn't have been Kim and Denise and then Sarah vote for Adam. Unless editing was just toying with us and Sarah wasn't really she wasn't really worried that Adam threw her name out.
Could be.
I don't know. I mean, sometimes they mess with us and we think something's a big deal when it really wasn't.
Yeah.
But deep down, I just have to imagine that they were like, we're voting Adam out, throw a couple votes to Nick. And they're just like, fine.
Right. Because it's not shocking that Denise would vote Nick because she kind of was like in with Adam. So like maybe she would, want to like throw him a bone and be nice to the guy that she was in an alliance with all season,
And she did get his fire token for that. I mean, he didn't know 100%, but he's going to assume, and he assumed correctly.
And I will say, like, I goofed last week because I thought there were 3 votes for Nick. I kept saying like 3 votes. Who were those 3 votes? And I wanted to know like, how did the votes fall? Because I think this gives us a picture of like where the tribe stands. but I don't think so at all. Like now thinking about it more and seeing how the votes fell, it feels like a very coordinated effort. It feels like they were all on the same page and this was a split vote situation. So it's still too early to tell really where.
Isn't it amazing that they were all on the same page when that was utter chaos?
I know.
I would have guessed there's no way to be on the same page. Like these people are having a conversation. These people are having a conversation. Like how they coordinated that.
Yeah. No clue.
No clue.
And if it was that coordinated, like, why did they need to do all the whispering? You know, if the plan didn't change, if that was always the plan, I don't know. It just.
Well, Adam was doing a really good job
of footage.
Right. Again, we need a second episode.
Yeah.
Adam was doing a great job of tanking his game during that tribal, so it might have changed back to Adam.
True.
Maybe it was Nick. And it was changing back to Adam, and maybe Sarah and Denise didn't even know. I don't know. I doubt that.
Yeah, but we now officially know those votes at least. So
yeah.
Yeah. Now another thing that
yes.
Well, I was going to bring up that another thing we did not see in the episode was this secret scene that they've since released. And it's Parvati getting her peanut butter on Extinction Island. And this went down in a very interesting way to me.
It did. This was not what I was expecting.
First of all, she got the peanut butter by herself, it looked like first. Like she was enjoying
she's just like,
sticks full of peanut butter. And then she sits with Rob, Ethan, and Amber on the beach. And they're doing their whole like yum, like, you know, yoga bit with the word yum. And they're sort of indicating that, yes, we have the peanut butter. We're all on the same page. And Parvati's talking about stashing it, right? And like sneaking off to eat it. So it feels like not everybody is looped in on the peanut butter.
Exactly. She's like, let me just bury it over here. And I was like, wait, why are you burying this? I thought this was like a group thing. And then we first just see her with Ethan and Rob. Then Amber shows up. So, and they're just, and she's saying, she's like, it's buried. You know, we got to go. We just need to strategically go over there one by one. I don't want it to look like a group eating. Right. And I was like, wait, who are you leaving out?
Who are you leaving out? Right. I mean, clearly if Rob is involved, Amber's involved. So like, you know, it made sense that Amber comes over and she's looped in.
Danny was there for this conversation. So Danny is aware that this was going to happen. She has to be looped in.
Yeah. And
so is that it?
I don't know. I mean, because there were, Natalie, I think was the other one who kind of knew that they found the advantage because Wendell and Yul were not there when they were discussing.
Right. Oh, Natalie was with Rob. Yeah.
Yeah, but Natalie was with Rob. So Natalie knows that, you know, the advantage was offered to someone on the island. Are they trying to keep it from her that it was actually purchased? Like that seems too sneaky almost to try to keep it from certain people on Extinction Island. Like, I don't know why they wouldn't just come out and tell everybody.
Well, I can see why they wouldn't want Wendell to know.
Yes.
And I guess previously the excuse was Yul just got here. He ate not that long ago. But like, it's been a few days. Like, don't they like Yul? Or maybe they don't.
I know.
I kind of thought they did. So
and Yul's like an old schooler, like they are, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. I think that's very interesting. Here's what else I think is interesting, that she just bought 1 jar of peanut butter.
Yeah. So what happened to those other 3 tokens?
Right. She charged a very high price. Let us not forget. 4 tokens.
Well, is she trying to save those other 3 tokens for herself for an idol when it's like the second battle back competition?
Right. I think she might be.
The whole deal is weird to me because like it was Parvati who grabbed the advantage, but Danny was right there with her. And Danny was the one who initially said, like, what if it was from last season of Extinction? So it really was kind of like a group effort between Danny and Parvati to find the advantage. But, you know, I don't know what the particulars of the rules are with like, if you're the one who puts your hand on the advantage first, does that mean you found it and it's yours and you call the shots with everything that happens with it? maybe it
I mean,
does.
technically, yeah. Parvati's the one who saw it and grabbed it, even though she was walking with Danny. So technically, yeah, Parvati gets it. But, in that moment, she was like, we're going to eat, we're going to eat. So she made it like a group thing.
Yes.
But so yeah, two things. So like previously, peanut butter costs 1 token. So potentially she has 3 and spent 1 on peanut butter, but prices went up on the island.
Yeah.
So did the prices go up on Edge of Extinction?
Yeah.
So maybe that peanut butter costs 4 tokens.
I mean, that's quite
ridiculous is what that is, if that's the case.
Yeah. Right.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, I hope they give us another extinction segment this week to kind of like iron out some of those questions, because they're making such a big deal about the fire tokens and the currency of this season. Like, I kind of don't want unanswered questions. Like, I feel like if you're going to make a big deal about this money playing such a huge part this season, then let's be very clear about like, what do things cost and what are the transactions that have occurred, so we can kind of track that as fans and like stay up with, what's going on with that.
Right. And to that point, though, maybe that's what they did, because they did give us that scene and the edit that, prices went up, and they showed us the menu, and they didn't do that on Edge. So that makes me think that prices did not go up. I feel like they would have to have incorporated that in. There would have needed to be a soundbite of like, I spent all my 4 tokens on this peanut butter or something like that. Right. So that we would know. So I'm going to assume she spent 1 token on peanut butter and she stashed 3 tokens
to get that idol later on. Now, speaking of idols, one thing that, Jeff does his weekly Q&A with Dalton Ross at Entertainment Weekly. And one of the things he clarified in this week's was his statement from the previous week. He said that Rob and Natalie's idols were dead. And this week he was like, I messed up. I goofed. Like, they are not dead. Those idols will still work if they win back into the game at the next Extinction Battle back. So they can't sell them to anyone on the island for, fire tokens or whatever it seems, but they can hold on to that idol and it'll still be good if they win their way back at the end of the game. So that's an interesting way.
I think that that's really interesting, because they are kind of dead right now. They're like in purgatory, or they're on hiatus. The idol is non-existent at the moment, but if they were to get back in, they're not dead. They could be used, which is awesome. I'm glad it wasn't taken away completely. But the fact that Jeff did not have the right information, that has to tell us something. Does that tell us that Rob and Natalie don't get back in, and that's why you forgot about that?
It's like a moot point that those idols aren't dead because they never get used, kind of a thing.
Right. But it is possible that Natalie or Rob come back in and don't have to use it, because we know they're getting in so late. They'd really only have like 1 tribal probably that it would be good for, and they don't have to use it. Maybe Rob gets back in, wins immunity, and he doesn't have to use it. And so Jeff forgot?
Could be.
I don't know.
All plausible scenarios,
But it is suspicious.
For sure. Yeah. But I thought we were both kind of shocked that the idols would be dead and that they would just go away. But now I like had kind of like settled into that truth. Yeah. And I was like accustomed to that just being the way it was. And now I'm like shocked the other direction. Like, wait a minute, what? Those idols aren't dead?
Yeah. Well, I'm glad. I thought that was so rude to just like, no. Nope.
You spent all that money, and you could have spent it on food. You could have spent that money on peanut butter or whatever. And now
could have spent it on peanut butter. Or an advantage to actually get yourself into the thing. Yeah. Natalie just bought 1 more advantage. Maybe.
Probably would have.
Rob had bought, he definitely would have been in if he bought 1 more advantage.
Yeah, he was like half a second away from winning that thing.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Right. Okay, well, that's about that. That does lead me to fire token talk, because I think Parvati has 3, is what I'm guessing from if peanut butter is still just 1.
Correct.
And I believe that that's about as much as we have for anyone. I think Denise and Nick have 3 tokens.
Denise has 3?
I believe so. I've lost count, so I just went to the wiki and wrote it down, because I was like,
I'm sure that's right.
So lost.
Because I was trying to track
Yeah.
Denise's, because I remember she had 2 when she was talking to Sandra. She gave her 1 for the idol. So that meant she had 1 left. And I thought she only got 1
She
from
just got
Adam,
Adam's.
but that would make 2. Because she went from 2 down to 1 when she gave 1 to Sandra, and then back up to 2 with this one from Adam. But yeah, I mean, it is hard to
I bet someone in chat can clarify that for us.
Listen, if you went to the wiki, those people who operate the wiki are very reliable. So I'm sure.
Thank you, Jordan. Immunity.
Yeah.
Thank you. She got it when she won immunity.
That's it. Okay.
That's it.
Yes.
See, this is why I can't keep track. And so I go to the wiki.
Yeah.
So the wiki said that Denise and Nick have 3, and then Kim, Sophie, and Jeremy have 2.
Makes sense.
Tony, Sarah, and Ben have 1.
Okay.
And that's it. That's not a lot of fire tokens in the world.
No.
I felt like there were more.
Because Michelle's got 0 now, because she just flushed them all to the edge of extinction.
Spent them all.
Yeah.
How do we feel about that now? We've had a few days to sit with it. Do we still...
you know, it was like reading some other commentary on that move, like after the episode, and people were kind of saying like, these players never know. They don't know if they're ever going to get another opportunity and an advantage. So they get 1 chance, and the cost kind of doesn't matter. If they can afford it, they're going to take it, because this may be their 1 shot in the game for any kind of advantage. So they just kind of seize any opportunity they can, which I respect. You know, like, it's true. Like, you can't be like, oh, I'm going to hold off on this one because like in 2 more days, I'm definitely going to get an idol. You know, like, you don't know that.
You do not know that. You don't know if you're ever going to get anything for the rest of the game. So if you are presented with something, I 100% agree with like, okay, I probably have to jump on this. And also, I do feel like fire tokens seem like they're everywhere. You can win them with immunity now. Like, so I feel like if I were thinking, should I spend all my tokens? I'd be like, I probably can get another token, but I don't know if I'll get another idol or advantage. That's what I don't know.
Absolutely. The one thing that I'd also read that I thought was interesting to consider is the idea of, this is a all winter season. They're bringing back some classic challenges. Maybe they're going to bring back the auction. And that's something that Michelle's going to wish she had saved a couple of fire tokens for, if that does end up coming back, you know?
Right. Yeah. Dalton Ross made a good point of like, if down the road things are being sold for 1 token, Michelle's like, what?
Yeah, right.
This is so cheap. Oh my gosh. But yeah, we don't know if that's going to happen. Who knows?
But I do think, I mean, I would love to see the Survivor auction back. And I think that the fire tokens is an interesting twist on that whole situation. You know, you're able to take more advantage of the auction based on how you've sort of been budgeting all season long. And, you know, the way they used to do the auction was they'd all get $500 or whatever the amount of money was. And then they were all on the same playing field, just bidding, you know, based on how badly they wanted a thing. But now to like incorporate the fire token system into this, I think is like an interesting twist on the auction, but who knows?
Absolutely. Right. In the chat, Germe, I'm going to say, is asking about, Danny let Parvati keep all 4 tokens. Well, we're not sure about that. We're just guessing that Parvati has all 4 tokens because she's the one that we saw in the secret scene. We didn't see Danny at all. So I don't know about that. There was also another question about, is the idol nullifier dead? That one was definitely dead because that was in Parvati's hands when she was voted off.
Yeah, I feel like when you make that transition from the island to extinction, everything is dead. You lose everything out of your pockets. Then, you know, you get rid of your fire tokens, your advantages go away. But then, you know, it seems that once you're on extinction, if you win something, you can keep that as long as you're on extinction.
Yes.
And then potentially you can bring it back into the game, as is the case with these idols that Rob and Natalie have.
Right. Those were specific idols. I mean, everything that they've gotten on Edge has said, like, here's an idol that is no good and you must sell it. Or this is an idol you're purchasing that's only good if you return to the game. So those definitely have their little...
You know what else I wonder? I wonder what happened to Tyson's peanut butter. Did he eat that whole thing?
I know. I want that secret scene.
You know,
I wanted that.
He didn't bring it back into the game. But it's interesting because like you could bring an idol back into the game, but you can't bring a jar of peanut butter back into the game. But like, is his peanut butter jar just still sitting under some rock, you know, by the ocean, and they have no idea it's there?
I imagine, yeah. I mean, I imagine he finished that whole peanut butter because I would want to finish it before the challenge. I'd want to have all the protein, all of that in me before the challenge. But I wonder, he probably could have put it in his bag and taken it with him though, if he hadn't finished it. But I know I wanted that scene so badly. While Parvati was doing yoga before the challenge, I wanted Tyson eating his peanut butter.
Right.
Why didn't we get that
scraping the bottom of the jar and like getting every last ounce of peanut butter out of there?
Yeah. Also, Adam just brought up in the chat, how has the idol on the island not been found? That's true. When we merged, no one has found an idol yet.
The merge idol. Yeah.
So that is
interesting that we haven't really even seen anybody scrambling for it yet. When you've got people like Ben, you know, you'd think that he's gonna be out there. Tony. Yeah.
Yeah. No, they're looking. They just haven't found it yet. I assume when they find it, we'll finally get that edit of people scrambling for it.
Yeah.
Some people are bringing up the Tar premiere date. We talked about that at the top of the video. The finale will be May 13th, and then Amazing Race premiere is the following week on May 20th. Someone else in chat mentioned, does that mean Big Brother is canceled? And that has not been officially canceled. And I am holding... It's not looking great. It's not looking great that it will run traditionally, but I do think that we should all just remember back to early Big Brother. Remember that they used to start in like mid-July?
Sure. Yeah.
So that's what
I'm also thinking of Over the Top that ran in the fall season. Like it's not unprecedented for them to run Big Brother in the fall season. I know the numbers aren't as good, but you know, they could keep
everything
the show
is up in the air. So So I think we definitely know that casting and pre-production is still working just from home. So they have not shut down. They have not canceled. So I think that it will either start late or just become like a fall show or something like you said. So just that's what we know. Nothing for sure.
Fingers crossed that it doesn't like get canceled completely. Oh, that would be a nightmare.
Oh, we can't. What are we going to do with our lives?
What are we going to do? That's way too many hours of free time that I have now.
Way too many. Way too many. We used to complain about how many hours Big Brother takes. And now we're like, oh my God, you're going to take that away from me? No way.
Yeah, right. What am I going to do?
Yeah, exactly. Some exciting news. Kim, who won immunity in this episode, she broke a record. She broke the record for most individual immunity wins for a woman over her Survivor career.
How about that?
She was tied with Kelly, Jenna, Parvati, Amanda, Chrissy, and Andrea. They all have 4 for their careers.
Okay.
And then she just bumped it up to 5.
Yeah. That's great.
How exciting is that?
And another thing I wanted to bring up about Kim. So there was, in addition to the Jeff Probst Q&A and the recap on Entertainment Weekly, so much great Survivor content on Entertainment Weekly, obviously.
I know.
But he did like a Q&A with the contestants from Winners at War of like, who's the best player to never win, right? And most people said Sari because like, hello, she's a legend.
Yes.
Several people said Devins because I think that was the most recent season they had watched. And it was very fresh in their mind. Some people said Aubrey, you know, like these are kind of the names that are coming up. But Kim, I found it interesting in Kim's answer. She said Devins and was like, oh, sheesh, that poor guy, or whatever. And then she said, it's hard for really good players to make it to the end anymore. And I would love to see that happen this season. I think that could be really fun if some of the bigger players would get together and say, the only way we're going to do this is to change it. And I think that's what we've been seeing from people like Tony and Jeremy. And I wonder if Kim is kind of in the loop with that group. We haven't seen a ton with Kim being in with Tony and Jeremy and them, but I wonder if there are conversations like that happening. Because there is a lot of talk of let's pick off these players who aren't targets because
Right.
people who are targets want to make it to the end.
Yeah, I think you're, I think that's very interesting to connect all that together, but I do think Kim is in with them. I do think that, and now that Tyson's back, I think that that's a group that is laying low and not making a thing about it because that's what makes it scary. But they are communicating and friendly, and they're probably very good at slyly talking without spending a lot of time together.
Yeah, because I think they just kind of like, maybe they like have a look where they're like, we're on the same page. You know, like we're both targets and we both know that people are going to try to get us out. So we got to work together and not be against each other to like boot some of these people who are after us. And then we can go after each other.
Right. Yeah. I think that's just like underlying. We know it. We don't have to talk about it too much. I think they're good at that. Yeah. Also, Kim is tied with Wigglesworth, Jenna, Chrissy for most individual immunity wins for a woman in just a single season. So they all got their for one season. So she still has that too. So exciting for Kim. I was sad that like Parvati is out of the game, so she doesn't even get a chance to beat it.
Right.
But and another interesting thing that came out this week is Sarah. Now, we all remember she gave away her reward this last episode. Yeah. And she tweeted, wasn't strategic, wasn't heartfelt. Y'all, I'm just allergic to Chinese food.
Okay. Now, I am not, I don't think I've ever heard of anyone being allergic to an entire cuisine. But maybe there's some ingredient that they use in all Chinese food that she's allergic to.
Right. I have heard people who have problems with MSG, and so they avoid Chinese food. I don't know if that's what she means.
Yeah.
But very interesting that that's her tweet, I guess, is what that's just interesting. Yep. That's her tweet.
It's interesting because it's like, why wouldn't you say that on the show? Like, why are you trying to play it off like you're some good Samaritan? Just like, no, like, don't target me. I'm just allergic. So like, there's no point in me going on this reward. So like, let me give it to somebody else. Like,
honestly, that sounds better.
Yeah.
Like if she's like, Jeff, could I, is it okay if I swap out? And he's like, what? And she could just be like, I have an allergy with Chinese food. Just like, unfortunately, not my reward challenge, you know. And it's Nick's birthday, so I guess I'll just give it to him. Like that is a way better than saying basically nothing. Just like, it's Nick's birthday.
Right. I'm just being a good person. It looks like very much like jury management when you just are selflessly giving away your reward to someone because it's their birthday. And that makes people be like, well, get out of here. Like, you got to go home if you're going to pull crap like that. But if she was like, oh, no, I'm just going to get sick. So like, no point in me going on this. People would be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Like, so I don't know why she wouldn't have said that on the show itself. Maybe she did and they didn't hear it. But.
True. She could have said that to Tony when he was like, what the heck? What are you doing? She could have been like, it's like, it doesn't sit right with my stomach. Like, who knows? And they just aren't going to include, they're like, that's boring. That goes out of the edit.
Right.
Remember when Nora, what was the whole thing with Nora? Because she was a vegetarian or vegan. And there was a challenge with meat. And she like, I forget the whole scenario. But it was open that she couldn't eat the reward. Oh, I think that was one of those challenges where you could sit out and eat.
Okay.
Right. Is that the one that Lauren manipulated everyone and knew that Nora would win because she's not going to sit out for the food? This is how our brain works.
I think that was it. Yes. So she was like, Nora's
not going to sit out for it. I'm going to make everyone want to. Yes. So maybe Nora will win. But anyway, it was partially because they knew Nora wasn't going to eat meat. So like, if that's out there in the open, you know, then there's no guessing ambiguity of like, oh, Sarah just doesn't eat Chinese food.
Right.
Like me, I would probably be like, I don't eat dairy. And there's no way that I could start eating dairy in the middle of Survivor. I would be so sick. So it would have to be out in the open. I'd have to be like, if it's a reward for with dairy or whatever, I'm just not going to do it.
It's going to tear me up inside. So like, it's not even worth it.
Yeah, it's going to tear them up, and they do eat dairy.
Right, exactly.
They make that mistake all the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, that was too much information about me and my dietary problems.
We know all about your digestive tract now.
Yeah, right. Now we all know. I think that's all that I was going to cover with you, David.
Yeah,
was there anything else?
No, I think we hit everything that I had found in my research since the episode.
Mm-hmm. Well, like we said, we are so excited about this loved ones visit.
Mm-hmm. Can't wait for that. I just cannot wait.
I'm so excited. I'm just skimming
into their children's faces, and the children will be like, "What is going on? Like, why are you so sad?" I've only been 21 days since I've seen you.
Right.
Yeah, it's good stuff though. Those family visits always get me. So this one's going to be extra good.
It's good. It's good content.
Yeah, it really is.
I love when I read back chat and it's just things like, that can't be true. No way. I don't know what we were talking about at that point. What are we discussing? Back to that video of, people who should have won that didn't. I thought that was so interesting. Was that Dalton Ross? Was that EW? Where is that?
It was EW.
I definitely recommend people go to watch that. That was it was interesting. Really fun.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell that some people were just, again, like the fact that Devins is a great player, like, don't get me wrong. And the fact that he didn't make it to the end, like, he is one of the great players who didn't make it, but it just felt like, oh, you just watched that season. And so that's what's fresh in your mind. But for someone like Suri to get like 6 votes, out of like winners, it just shows. And she, she played in Game Changers, like that was pretty recent, but like that just goes to show like how much of a legend she is, that she still is stuck in people's minds as like this expert player who a lot of people said like she could have won twice. And, she just kind of got stuck at the, wrong end of circumstances.
Yeah. I mean, Chrissy is one of my favorites that didn't win.
Okay, thank you. I was a little shocked that Chrissy didn't Ben voted for Chrissy, but that was because Ben wanted to be like, oh, the 2 people that I beat are like the greatest players to never win, of course.
He should give her props because
he should. Chrissy was amazing. Like, she was so good at the immunities, like when it counted at the end of the game. And she was also like a very smart strategic player the whole way through. I was surprised she didn't get more love. Yeah,
I was happy that Aubrey got love because she's definitely on my list of that. It was super, super interesting to see. Oh, so Max says that he doesn't think there is a merge idol because advantages were coming from Edge. That's an interesting take. I mean, there were idols on, when they split their tribes. Why do I not remember what that's called? When they swap.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Quarantine. I don't know. So there were idols there. So I feel like there would be one. And also I do want to go back to that where Edge is finding idols and advantages to sell. Like, I want to keep that going because we kind of slowed down with that a little bit. So I hope that they keep that going.
Me too. Yeah, that was like a very interesting, wrinkle to the game. And there are so many of those advantages still in play. Like, can we just think about like what everyone has? Like, we know Sophie and Kim have idols that they haven't used.
They haven't had to use them.
Jeremy
has his step out. Yep. Yes. Sarah has like a point where it's like boom, 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 all these advantages because they just really haven't used them much.
Yeah.
But the only idols, right, are
Kim
Sophie and Kim.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the other, because Denise had to use the 2. So I think that's it. Yeah.
Both of hers, and I believe that's all.
And then potentially one that's out there that they haven't found yet.
Right.
Yes. Oh, okay. Yes, loving Survivor. So excited
good.
to have a finale date. So excited to know that they're gonna, keep it up, do a reunion like they
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
So that's wonderful. Yes, Jessica, Ozzy should be on that list, and I do feel like he did get
He got brought
somebody.
up for sure,
Yeah.
but not as much as you would think.
No, he didn't. Yeah, it was just like once.
Mhm.
But yeah, Ozzy was an incredible player.
Yeah.
Okay, so as usual, we will be back Wednesday after the East Coast airing of Survivor. So
Yes.
if that is too early for you, we will be here when you are ready.
That's right. Whenever you're ready.
Yes, please let us know in the comments how you feel about all of this. If you have any predictions of who is going home this week, they're not going home, going to Edge this week.
Right.
Let us know.
Let us know, and we will see you guys on Wednesday.
Okay, bye.
Bye.